Okay, I'm live. So, the reason I'm going live is because I'm starting to get a lot more requests for video reviews, and I want them to get too backed up. So I'm just gonna do them throughout the week as they come in. So I'm gonna jump right into it. I don't have any questions. All I have are people sending me videos saying, "Hey, what can I get help with?" So let me jump right into that. Give me a second to switch to this and this. All right, this is Julian, who got a little bit, sent it in for the previous video review, but his videos were turned sideways. This is one of them that I could work with. It's still not the best angle because I'm only seeing him coming at me from the front, but I will do what I can do for you, Julian. Okay, looks overall pretty good. So obviously going a little higher over the hurdle than you should be. I mean, that's pretty darn high. Probably a foot over that hurdle, which means you have to deal with now coming down. You should have touched down about right here, but instead you have to keep dropping. But all that aside, let's see here. That actually looks good if you were lower. I like the trail arm. You could bend it a little bit more. Let's see what happens with your lead arm. Okay, this is a good angle to show people what I talk about a lot. Your hand should be sweep right by your knee. Sometimes I tell my athletes, cut off the knee. So you imagine you have a blade in your hand and you don't want to slice your knee just because it puts you in the right spot. So I recommend keeping both of your arms bent at about 90 degrees. Okay, the trail leg. This is another example of over rotating. Like if it's hard to tell exactly, but I have a feeling that if I could draw a line down the middle of your body, that your trail leg is actually swinging to the very center, and it doesn't need to do that. Yeah, you can see how it's even angled in a little bit, causes your shoulder to want to go back the other way. So basically what I'm trying to say is when your knee gets about right here, start driving it down. Don't wait for it to come here before you drive it down, and even there. And then you're bounding a lot in the middle of the hurdle so that you can make it to the next. That's okay if you're just learning, but ultimately you're going to want to really just rely on full speed running and not land on your heels so much. Same thing. Overall, I think you're on the way. Okay, so I'm going to go to Jalen. A lot of these hurdlers, I don't know anything about them. They just sent videos. So, okay, so the guy in the lead. Oh, okay, yeah, I saw your other video too. You're a really good 400-meter runner, hurdler too. Okay, so let me see what I can see. Okay, I'll pick it up there. All right. We'll see you running between the hurdles a little bit. That's a big heel strike right there. Okay. I'll probably see better angle coming up. At least I hope that I do, because that's pretty good. Okay, your arm is way out there. Bend that elbow 90 degrees. Keep your hand by your knee. And then, okay, so at this point where your foot is touching down, you should have your hips farther forward because your hip should be straight up from your foot and you're falling back still. So as you're coming off that hurdle and you're pulling your lead arm back, think about thrusting your hips forward. It'll drop this lead leg down fast. Also, your knee should be up higher and you should be up taller at this point. I recommend you, if you haven't already seen it, go to my YouTube channel and I've got a video that I've done about 110 meter technique. I think it says, I just changed the title of it. And it shows some Olympians on the cover. Honestly, I don't remember what it's called, but anyway, I think it's something like the best 110 meter hurdle technique. That would be what you want to look at, and it breaks this down really good. Or you could look at my 6 techniques to level up your hurdling. It shows what this looks like from the side, and you'll see what I'm talking about. That's a pretty big deal, actually. Like how bent over you are here, watch. It shouldn't be like that. You want to get up tall and up to running as fast as possible, or I should say as quickly as possible. I'm zoomed in, so it's your cameraman's not helping me. Yeah, look at that. Falling backwards. You should be straight up by now. At least certainly by now. And you're still bent knee, falling back, and knee's not high enough. Trail arm is, well, lead arm is too far back now. And then it also, see how your foot had to come out there and land on your heel. We want to avoid that. So definitely, just I don't have to repeat myself, check out both of those videos. I love this angle. This is fantastic. I mean, you are really, and that extension with that leg, really, really going for it. I think that's what's the main thing that's helping you is you don't slow down at the hurdle and you really commit and go for it and go right to the top of the hurdle. See, this is excellent right here. This is why you're good. And I'm sure you're fast too. But if you can improve this, and right now you could be up tall and running to the next hurdle, you'd be even faster. So, yeah, I love that. It's exceptional. Oh, you know what? I will say something. Another bit of critique. Come on, go back. Sometimes it does that. Okay. Come on. Sometimes I get ahead of my software. Okay, so you should reach your top of your jump here and start to come down on the hurdle. Actually, you did. You actually hit that hurdle. But for some reason, on this hurdle, seems like you just got way far. This is a big, huge distance on the other side, but partly because of what I said, you're not bringing your hips forward and you're floating in the air too long. So that's that. I hope that helps. By the way, when I'm done with all this, I'll talk about how you guys can have me help you. Let me see here. I'm going to Dane. Let me find that. Dane. Oh, didn't mean that. Dane, where are you? There you are. Julian. No, I got to go to Maxwell. Okay, here's Maxwell. in the gym. Whoa, he's always... Okay, so these people who send me videos like this, it's tough because I can't see anything leading up to the hurdle. And there's so much to learn about watching you approach the hurdle and running between the hurdle that I don't see. Okay, but I can tell you this. At this point, your heel should be tucked up under your butt, and then it just starts to unfurl now, and then end up where you are, but it keeps you lower. It's one of the things that keeps you low over the hurdle because it keeps your momentum going forward versus swinging a leg up. And I can't be for sure, but you might be swinging your leg around a little bit. You're also too high. So this angle here, we see this high angle here versus the one that we just saw with Jalen, and his angle is way out like this. I prefer Jalen's. So this isn't horrible though, but you're lifting sort of a straight leg and getting too much lift. Also pulling your trail leg through too soon. At this point in the jump, your knee should be farther back. Keep it tucked into your butt, but farther back, which tells me, I'm not really sure because you seem pretty straight with that leg. I'm not sure how that trail leg got that far ahead, but you're pulling it through too soon, and you're obviously too high over the hurdle. And now you should be touching down on the ground right here. This would be a pretty good position for when you're just about ready to touch the ground, and then a few inches farther, your hip should be forward. Like this would actually work if you weren't so high. You got a lot of good things going on here. Wait, something's wrong. No, okay. Yeah, not bad. You were just mostly too high. So that is your main issue, is that you're jumping too high, and then there was something else that I said. What was that other thing? Oh yeah, the lead leg needs to be tucked under your butt and then unfurl it. So, but that actually looks pretty good. So good job, Maxwell. Let's see here. Moving on. I'm cranking through these because they're coming at me fast. Okay, now Dane. That's why I had to do this one. Here's another one where I don't see it until he's ready to go over that hurdle. Boom. Okay. Let me back up. By the way, my new goal in business is to get a sponsor who makes editing software. That would be the perfect thing. So if anybody's got any connections with anybody like that, let me know. I'm using a free tool, which is not bad at all, but I want to go pro. Okay, so. Okay, so what I can tell, here's an example. It looks like your heel is tucked up by your butt as I look at your lead leg. That looks good. Looks good. Okay, there's a lot of good stuff going on here. I would say, for my taste, that your knee is a little too bent at this point, which forces you to go higher because you have to clear this heel. So if you could stay lower and get this heel up, maybe you have tight hamstrings. Maybe that's what you have to do. But if you don't, like here's a example. You know, if your knee weren't so bent, your whole body could be lower. So keep that in mind. This here is a pretty good commitment, pretty good angle for that plant leg. I like your trail arm. I like your lead arm. Okay, I don't like your trail arm here. I don't like keeping it in front of you. Your elbow should be about right here, and your wrist should be by your hip, minimum. Don't keep it here because that messes with your balance. Because everything, your upper and lower body need to oppose each other. So everybody, here's a good example when I talk about reaching the top of your jump in the front of the hurdle and then come down on the hurdle. Dane is doing a good job because watch, he'll start coming down now. That's what you want. But something, I wish your lead leg should be landing about here, and it's going a little too far. So if you had your trail arm back where I'd want it, and you start pulling it through now, you could pull your hips with it. So that's a couple things I talk to my athletes about pulling their hips forward when they come off the hurdle, so it drops their lead leg down fast and gets them up nice and tall right away to run faster. One is by pulling that trail leg forward and bringing your hips with it. The other is with your lead arm, pull it and kind of pull your hips forward as you do that. Because right here, your hips should be farther forward. You should have dropped your lead leg a little quicker. And then at this point, your trail leg should already be pulled around but be higher by your chest. So I'm not seeing your trail leg because it's on the other side, but you're not pulling it through fast enough. And then when you do see it, just drops. It's a real kind of passive trail leg. And you want it to be up by your chest here, and then really powerful first step to the next hurdle. Okay? So you got a lot of good things going on, but I would think about this lead leg. I would think about this trail arm. I would also think about pulling your trail leg through a little faster and definitely more powerful. Keep it high. Just like one of the other people, look at my oh man, I can't believe I can't remember it. Six techniques to level up your hurdling would be really good for you. Okay. Before I go on to the last two people, let me just say for people that are watching this, here's the way this works. I kind of specialize in hurdle technique, and so I'll help everybody one time free. If you want anything beyond that, you have a choice. You could either do it $29 a pop, or you can order it like this, or for $29 a month, you can have unlimited sending me videos from practice and meets, asking me questions, getting my feedback, getting my coaching advice. Only $29 a month. Quit anytime. So that's the way it works. Okay, let's see here. I'm going to go on to Riley. I've got a few from Riley. That's why. There's that one. Oh, I want to see the practice one. I haven't seen it. No, that's not Riley. That's a different person. Or is it? Oh, no, that is Riley. Okay, so all right, Riley. It's a nice looking track. Okay, so it does seem like you are standing up out of the blocks right away, and then you have this, you know what, let me focus on something nice first. Okay, so I like your attack. Okay, I like your lack of fear that you are hitting that hurdle, committed and you're not slowing down at all. Now, but you wanted to get better? Let me show you what we can do. Look at your arms going side to side and straight arm. And if you really look at it, when you watch it here, you can really, that's something funny about that. So I don't have a good angle on it, but think about your arms coming out of the blocks. Okay, let's break it down. I'm also noticing, look how externally rotated your foot is when it plants down. I have another hurdler who does that. And we work on rotating his hips around. It's too complicated to go into right now, but oh, it's weird. It's only on your left foot. Yeah, your hip rotates out on your right leg, FYI. Okay. You seem kind of close to the hurdle to me. Keep that in mind. Okay, this commitment looks good. Diving into the hurdle like that looks good. I do think, like a lot of hurdlers, this arm is too straight. This arm is not tight enough either. This is looking good though. Looking good. Looking good. Okay, so not bad. I wish that it paused somewhere in between this click and this click. So, okay, so when you come off that hurdle, you want to be tall. You want to be as tall as possible so that your hips don't drop. And yours aren't dropping very much, but then your knee collapses a little bit. It's really not bad. Let's not, sometimes you have to look at things a few times for some people. Not bad at all. Okay, so for people that heard me, that have been sticking around this, and somebody earlier on, I think it was Julian, was over-rotating his trail leg. Riley's the opposite. Riley is starting to drive it down already, like right here. So it comes down really quick. That's really good. Riley didn't wait for it to come all the way around. That's what I like. So this is pretty good. I mean, you're not all, you only have the balls of your foot touch down, and you're already kind of bringing your hips forward, and it's subtle. And then flat-footed and your hip is on top of you. That's pretty good. I like how quickly you drop that trail leg, but it also, for somebody else who I just looked at, and I was complaining about how I want their knee to be higher in their chest, this is better. This is better. Not exactly what I'm looking for, but better. Okay, I like the lead leg tucked. I like this angle, really good. The straight leg, full commitment to dive into that hurdle. Okay, so he reaches his peak right here, they call it the apex of the jump, and now he's coming down on the hurdle. See, there we go. That's pretty darn good. He doesn't even have his foot down, and he already has his hips forward. So that is really good. I do wish your knee was higher at this point, your trail leg, but that looks like, that's big time. The way you're bringing your trail leg down like that, that looks like the elites. Okay, so Riley, you got a lot of good stuff going on. I'm trying to remember what your email said. You're a senior, second year hurdling. but you feel like you need to increase your speed. Okay, let me see. Let me see see if I can deal with that. Okay, I can't address that. So people, whenever you send me stuff, any bit of information that you want to know, ask me. It's helpful for me to know how to steer the direction. So basically, Riley, your hurdling looks really good, but you're wanting to get faster. I think that it has to do with your running in between. Well, it's not bad. Let me go slow. Okay, so it's subtle, but watch this. Like I said, I think you bring your trail leg down like the best. But here, see that stretched out stride there? That second stride? Look at that. I think this is kind of killing you. So you're touching down and your knee is here. So you are really elongated in that step. And you're doing it to reach the next hurdle. And it might be that it's just a pattern that you developed. And then you're taking a shorter step here, which I do want. Okay, so I'm having to really guess here because I don't know all the details. I don't see any. Okay, here's what I would do. So I can see that these are the marks where your hurdles go, and you have it shortened by a few inches. Here's what I would do. I would shorten it even more, and then I would practice running full speed and try to keep your rhythm between the hurdles more steady. Like, I read this in a book somewhere, and I use it every now and then when I need to affect or make changes to somebody's stride pattern. Like if you think of your steps as like rhythm. So every time you touch down, it's ta, 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 right? And every time you go over the hurdle, it's boom. So when a hurdler is going really fast, it's like boom, ta, 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 boom, ta, 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 boom, ta, 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 right? So yours is like boom, ta, 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 boom, ta, ta, ta. And you want to shorten that second one because you want to be as quick as, ideally it's just going boom, ta, 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 boom, ta, 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 boom, ta, ta, ta. But yours is really elongated for that second ta. So try to shorten it, and try to shorten it by bringing your hips, your heels straight to your butt and getting a little more traditional sprint mechanics with low backside, low heel recovery. I don't know if you're going to be able to get with a low heel recovery, but don't let it get behind you so much. And try that with the hurdles closer and see if you can just run faster between the hurdles. And then hopefully when you get it, it's like this sensation where you're like, okay, I feel what I just did, and I feel that was different, and I can feel my turnover being faster. So now I'm going to try to stretch out the hurdle a few more inches and a few more inches until you get it out there. Keep in mind, you're not a machine. You are a human who has fuel, and it requires fuel to do this. So you will fatigue. You only have so many repetitions you can do full speed at any practice before you get fatigued and your body starts to break down. So be smart with your repetitions, but that's what I would work on. I hope that helped. That was a good one. That was really different than a lot of the videos that I see very often. Okay. Riley, let me know if you have any confusion with that. So this is Desmond. He's the last one of the day. And I love the beautiful lighting in the background. Okay, Desmond. When I saw this the first time, don't get me wrong. I think you have potential. I thought you were not joking, but I thought that you were just doing a warm up. And I played it back and I realized, wait a minute, no, he's coming out of the blocks fast. I mean, that is those first few, like you're like, okay, I'm going for it. And then you start stuttering like you're doing the 300 hurdles from here. And so you are totally slowing down for your hurdles. Let me see if I could figure this out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so that's what's happening. Let me slow it down even more. I can't even count those choppy steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, that's what's going on. Okay, so it's not so bad. So you want to lead with your right. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I think we have a good solution to get you up and running, up and hurdling really quickly. First is you need to switch your legs in the blocks, because you don't take 9 steps to the hurdle. You want to take 8 steps to the hurdle. You want to lead with your right, so you need to have your left foot forward in the blocks. So what's going to happen there is you're not going to have to stutter and lose all your speed, and so you can hit that hurdle faster than that, certainly. So you'll go lower. So imagine if you had actual speed coming off this hurdle, you'd be able to hit the next hurdle running full speed in 3 steps. So you look fast and athletic to me and powerful. So I would do this. Honestly, I would go to my store and buy Hurdling 101 and learn how to do this. But I do have some other videos on YouTube about 3-stepping. You need to watch that one. That takes a segment of my Hurdling 101, and it shows you what you need to do, which is pull the hurdles in real close at a distance where you can comfortably go over them with 3 steps between them, and try to get proficient at that. And once you feel comfortable, then you gradually pull the hurdles out a few, let's say 6 more inches. Try to do those 3-stepping. And once you can do that, you keep adding 6 inches to it till eventually you're close to the official racing distance for the 110-meter hurdles. And that's how you learn how to 3-step, because you shouldn't be doing 9 steps of the first hurdle and 5 steps between the hurdles. That's for middle school. No, I'm not going to make fun of people. Anyway, so that's what you need to do. And then once you do that, I would love to see what you're doing when you're actually 3-stepping. So that is all the videos I have. I haven't gotten any questions, so that is good. I can wrap it up. Let me just say again for people, real quick, let me change my screen here. For people who are watching this video and unfamiliar with how I work, ACE Method Coaching, I provide a few things that help hurdlers. One is, it's really popular. It's called Hurdling 101. It is a step-by-step video and handout to help somebody who's an absolute beginner go to being proficient. Proven success with lots of hurdlers. I also sell a whole lot of training programs, mostly to coaches, but also to athletes, because it is a very detailed, like 60-page workouts. It's not just, here's a workout. This is like through the entire season, everything you need from your first week to your second week, all the way to 12, 13 weeks, however long your season is. And it's adjustable, and it evolves throughout the season, so that you get better and better. I do a lot of that. Plus, my services are this. I'm a specialist in hurdle technique, so I'll do this for free. I group them up, and because people like watching these technique critiques, I'll do them as a YouTube live stream. That way people can come back and watch and learn. If you want more of this from me, here's your options. You can either pay $29 for a one-off hurdle review, and I don't even have it in my store right now because I'm constantly evolving, and I think this is the way I'm going to go. But the smart play is to get my subscription. It's only $29 for a month, and it is unlimited sending videos to me, asking me questions, getting my feedback. And those are the people that get my immediate attention every morning when I wake up, every afternoon when I open this up. Those are the first questions I answer and the first reviews that I look at. And then from there, it's making YouTube videos, and in my free time, in between that stuff, I'll come and I'll check out these videos and do them real quick like this when I can. So anyway, I hope that helps. If you have any questions or you want to send me anything, go to acemethodcoaching.com. You'll go to the hurdle page and you'll see everything that I just talked about. You'll also see where you can send me your video to review. That's it. Hope you enjoyed it. See you in the track.